Hello, and thank you for joining me here at Spirit Rodeo. I'm going to be talking about the concept of inner knowing. This has become a topic that is really important to me since what I would call my spiritual awakening began a few years ago, especially because I started to receive a lot of information that I'd never encountered about the nature of life, the nature of myself, the nature of the spirit world, and not just general things always, but things that helped me to understand myself and to direct me on this path called life. And so I want to delve into that topic a bit through the use of a few oracle card decks and pull a card from each of these 6 decks and kind of create a string of a message to see what meaningful words or a meaningful message that I can put together about what inner knowing is. So first I'm going to start with a few statements from yogajourneyforlife.com about what inner knowing is not. Inner knowing is not the voice in your head, the voice of your overthinking personal mind. Inner knowing is what wisdom traditions speak of as the still small voice within. When people hear this phrase, the still small voice within, their personal intellectual mind immediately focuses on that part of the phrase related to the word voice. Your inner knowing may come to you as a voice, but in the experience of this writer, that voice is very rare. It has only ever spoken to me twice. One was during the experience of awakening, and one once to tell me I would marry a woman who I had only just met and not yet spoken to. There is a voice that doesn't use words. Listen. And this is a quote by Rumi. The still small voice is a level of awareness. We access it through the stillness of the body. It is a small voice because it is an energetic vibration. It is a good vibration. It comes as an invitation from your soul. Don't expect that this energy will always be welcome. There will be resistance from that part of you that identified with your sense of the personal. The invitation from the still small voice asks you to be authentic. When you explore inner knowing, there will be a period of doubt and unknowing. Recognize this as part of the process. All right, so I'm going to start with the Ask Your Guides Oracle deck. What are messages that we should know about inner knowing or the still small voice within? What should we know about inner knowing? Creativity and creativity guides. This image is, of course, about artistic expression, but creativity comes in many different forms. Here, there's a dancer, there's a guitar, and there's a painter with a paintbrush, and also a butterfly representing metamorphosis. patience, practice, reevaluation, and assessment. Your creativity guides are advising you that there's no way to avoid risk if you wish to live a creative life. Stop worrying about making right and wrong choices and view all of them as creative opportunities. Be glad you have the freedom to make choices at all, and realize that no matter what you choose, you'll create something. If you don't like the result, then simply go back to the drawing board and make new and hopefully better choices. Your creativity guides remind you not to look at life in terms of black and white, me against you, all or nothing. You're a creative spirit regardless of what else is going on in your life. Assess your creations with appreciation and respect. Whether good, bad, or indifferent, they all reflect your creativity. Celebrate everything you enjoy, and don't fret over the rest. See your less desirable creations as interesting rough drafts, and follow your creativity guide's advice. Go back to the drawing board. This is an excellent message for me because I am an overthinker. I am risk averse, and that is one thing I had to realize about myself, in that I do always worry about, I paralyze myself because I'm always worried about whether or not a choice is the right or the wrong thing to do. And so I really feel like this card is speaking to me in that regard. Up next, we've got the Witching Hour Oracle. Oops, wrong deck. Let's grab this one. This is the Witching Hour Oracle. Bathing in the river, self-care. This is a time spent in nature, and a time that you might not think of going outside in the night and really basking in the natural tranquility. The key words for bathing in the river are being present, self-care, tending to your mind and body and soul. Self-care is its own kind of magic. A spell doesn't have to be elaborate to be effective, nor does it need to produce anything specific, like more money or a partner. Magic can be channeled on a cozy Saturday afternoon, just sitting in your favorite chair, next to your favorite window, with your favorite tea or coffee, and with no other goal than to have a moment to yourself and to connect to the present. These are the moments that refresh you and give you the strength to deal with some of life's more difficult challenges. And when bathing in the river flows into your reading, it's a big nudge from spirit to make time for tending to your mind, body, and soul. You haven't been fully present in your life. Perhaps you have a spiritual practice, but it feels more like checking an item off of a to-do list than a moment of bliss and ease. Maybe you take a warm bath, but spend that time reading over textbooks or office work you brought home. Perhaps you have a healthy diet, but are inhaling food between appointments rather than savoring the taste and feeling the nourishment flowing through your body. Self-care isn't truly care if it feels more like a chore or something you're compounding with other things. Remember that you matter, and you're not just selfishly putting yourself first. You're taking care of yourself so that you'll be around and present for all of life's precious little moments. First steps and birthday parties, time with friends, experiencing culture, and living rather than just getting through the day. I can understand not being fully present in life. I was kind of at a place of a standstill for a few years during the pandemic, in which I had to live in a shared space, and just really a time of transition, regrouping, regathering. And I really wasn't feeling like I was living my life fully as I was before that time. And I definitely didn't always feel like I was living in the present and really enjoying life. And this card is really great because it shows the simplicity of self care and calling it its own kind of magic. And taking time to really care for ourselves and bask in the simple pleasures of life and focusing on ourselves helps us to cope with what life is. And it is a part of the ebb and flow, just like the river. Self-care is a part of the ebb and flow, the kind of lower, more still times in which things are more calm, and then life sometimes moves in a direction in which it's a bit more chaotic and stressful. And so you need to balance that chaos and that stress with more still and self-focused times. And next we have the Lightworker Oracle deck. Life path. An angel. This looks like a baby in utero, a child as it grows past birth. All right, let's get into the meaning of that card, life path. And up next is the Wandering Heart deck. This is such a cute deck. It's not full of that many cards, but it's just a really adorably illustrated deck. This kind of young, contemporary, and how cute is the back of that? The heart. All right, let's get into this Wandering Heart deck. Redemption. Looks like a butterfly. Once again, a symbol of metamorphosis. I'm not sure what the flames represent in this, so let's see what the guidebook has to say. Redemption. You've come a long way. Persevere. Opportunity and independence are keywords. Abundance is your birthright. The sooner you align, the sooner you receive what is yours. Everyone plays life differently, some logically, some spontaneously, some are guided by emotion. But when you're delusional enough to believe it, you just might get it. The harder you fight and the more you speak up for yourself, the easier all the right doors will begin to open. In the end, you find yourself in the exact position you deserve to be in the exact setting you dreamed about. You are jaded, there's no question, but soon enough, you'll prove yourself and everyone else wrong. You'll arrive and appreciate what it took to get here. The old games don't excite you anymore. Regret isn't your main concern lately. You grow out of the what ifs because you have no other choice but to move on and be better than before. You shield yourself for your own sanity. You understand why you need isolation. You're ready to step into the shoes of the highest version of you. So, this card is about taking in abundance standing up for yourself, and pushing forward, knowing that you're going to get to where you want to be. You don't care, or the idea of regrets don't hold you back. And you don't think about what if, you just do. You kind of push fear to the side. Don't let it serve as a block in your life. And really improve yourself and improve your life. Trying your best to reach the highest version of yourself. So this is once again a card of metamorphosis for sure. I like that. That wasn't so obvious to me, but I like that. Okay, and up next is the Angels and Ancestors Oracle cards. I really like this deck for some ancestral messages I've gotten from it. I really had never considered ancestor messages or even much about what the ancestors were in my life until maybe the fall of last year. And I had bought this deck maybe a year before that, I'm not sure, and I kind of went back to this in a time of reflecting about my ancestry, family history, and I even got 23andMe DNA testing. And so at that time I was just getting all kinds of downloads and dreams about ancestry, and this deck along with the Hoodoo Tarot deck both really spoke to me in the ways of the ancestors. So let's see if we're going to draw an ancestor card or maybe something more along the lines of the angels. I'm not sure. Let's check it out. No, I don't think I pulled this card before. Animal Guardian. Trust your instincts, which goes right along with your inner knowing. And let's see what the guidebook has to say about the definition of this Animal Guardian card. In this card deck, the guardians and messengers, and as we can see, this is the Animal Guardian. Let's see, there are 12 guardian spirits who all bring miraculous messages of guidance and healing. These are the keepers of the directions and the angels of the elements and that protect the magic circle and shamanic practice. These guiding spirits help you to connect with your primal needs and desires so you can live a fulfilling life that is aligned with your highest truth. Once again, matching with that highest version of yourself from that redemption card. Your highest truth, good, and purpose. So the Animal Guardian asks you to trust your instincts. Trust the powerful animal spirit within to learn more about yourself and your talents. The Animal Guardian is the card that represents the angels of the animal kingdom. Animals are angels of nature who have incredible lessons to offer and medicine that can support you on your spiritual journey and help you survive some of your greatest challenges. You can learn a lot about yourself and the earth. You also have instinctive animal energy within that can direct you towards everything you need. The Animal Guardian card depicts a tribal angel being held and supported by her animals. She has a love for them and they have a love for her, demonstrating how incredibly connected nature is with the spiritual realms. This card is making me think of how it feels to have a pet. I love dogs particularly small dogs, and I had a Maltese poodle many years ago that I felt like was my soul dog, as I call it. And it just felt like we were so fit and made for each other, and he really brought such joy to my life in a way that a pet never had. And you know, in that way, animals can really help you to make it through life, to understand joy. And I really came to understand that animals have their own individual personalities as well during that time. And so I really like this message. Up next is the Make Today Magical. I think these are more like affirmation cards. Kind of dropped that, but let's see what it says. Flowers bloom when you smile. There is no card or guidebook to this card deck, so I will give simply my own interpretation of this message. A smile can have great impacts on your environment. That positive energy radiating forward from you can cause growth even in the atmosphere. A flower plants a seed. A smile plants a seed. a flower shows itself when you radiate with joy. It reflects your joy. So a bloom is a flower's way of smiling. All right, let's recap these cards. Creativity and creativity guides. Don't worry about right or wrong choices. You are free to choose. Life is not to be seen as a place of extremes and duality alone. You can start again if you don't like what you create. Bathing in the river. Bask in the stillness of self-care. You matter, as does the present moment. You can better handle life when you balance yourself with self and soul care. Life path. Purpose, spiritual training, Purpose and spiritual training serves you and others. The areas of struggle that you endure are the most intense type of training. Ask God and your spiritual team for help. Trust what you see, sense, and feel about your life path. It is being shown to you. Redemption, metamorphosis, leaving behind the fear of regret and what if to reach your highest version of self. Animal guardian, trust your instincts. Animals teach lessons of the self and the earth. Connect to what you truly feel and need, just as animals don't hold back what they think or feel. It just is, and it is simply expressed as it is. You too should connect to what you truly feel and need. And flowers bloom when you smile, an affirmation card. Your smile positively impacts the atmosphere. And this was a message in some things we should know about our inner knowing. Our inner knowing helps us to express creativity. Our inner knowing helps us to bask in self-care as needed. Our inner knowing guides us down our life path. Our inner knowing is a place of redemption, a place of metamorphosis, and leaving behind the fear of what if. Our inner knowing is like an animal guardian, teaching us to trust our instincts. Our inner knowing is our instincts. And our inner knowing allows us to smile. And our inner knowing brought forth impacts everything that is around us. I hope you enjoyed that message and that it was positive and meaningful. Thank you so much for listening.